Almost forgot the mic. Hi, I'm back. A couple of apologies to start off with this week. First, I apologize for being late today after not being here basically for an entire week. I had a lot of stuff to get done this morning and conversations to have, and just kind of ran me a little behind. So I apologize for my lateness today. And secondly, I apologize for not being here last week. I know I told y'all that I was going to be doing a special one on Tuesday of last week because Monday was a holiday, but then I ended up getting sick over the weekend, and all of my stuff is here, and I haven't found a way to be able to update that kind of stuff on Twitch yet. If you know of one and can tell me, please do, because I have yet to find anything that I've realized, at least, that allows me to just kind of put a notification up if I'm going to have to miss a day that I was planning to be streaming. So, yeah. So I was out Monday. I was sick Tuesday. And Wednesday is my big Awana day. Like all I do is Awana. And I was still a little sick for that. And then Thursday, I was working another job. And then I was out of town on Friday going to the concert. So it just kind of became a bad week to try and stream. So I apologize that I didn't get it done on Tuesday. But we are back here today on Monday, the day we're supposed to be. And we are going to work up our Eevee and putting her together and getting those final things on. So we're going to see how far we get in that. As I said, I went to the Carrie Underwood concert this weekend. Love me some Carries. I had to wear the tour shirt today. Me and my daughter had a great time. And it was a fun opportunity to be able to take my daughter to her first concert, with it being someone that we both really, really enjoy watching and listening to. So that was fun. If you're a Carrie Underwood fan and you have the opportunity to go to one of her shows, I highly, highly, highly encourage it. So anyway, back to our purpose for today. We are going to be assembling our Eevee. If you've been following along, we've done all the parts. We've got the head stuffed and ready to go. We've got the body stuffed and ready to go. We've got 2 ears that are textured with the inlay that are done. I've got 2 little feet. Ding ding. These are the front feet. Okay. These are going to get attached to the front. Wait, hold on. Back. These are the back feet. I had to think about that one for a second. These are going to get attached to the thighs. We've got the thighs. They just fell. Try that again. The thighs. We've got the thighs ready to go. We've got the 2 front legs all stuffed, ready to go. And last but certainly not least is the tail. I just stuffed that one up, so it's ready to get thrown on there too. So yeah, now again, I'm probably only going to do 1 of each because it's going to be the same. So like one front leg, 1 back leg, 1 ear, 1 eye, you know, all those things. So probably going to stick with that. And yeah, and then we'll probably do a little bit of fluff just to show you how that goes around the neck to get that fluffiness that's on there. And we're going to wrap this up today with the assembly. As always, this is not my pattern. I did not make it myself. I got it from the wonderful Ash at oneupcrochet.com, which is bing right there. If you want to get your own pattern, this is your first video, you want to go back and make your own, go check them out. They're at One Up Crochet. She's got a bunch of amigurumi patterns and a lot of Pokemon ones, which is what this series is about. We've already done Charmander, we're wrapping up Eevee, and next time around we're going to start on Pikachu. They all come from her. I take no credit for these whatsoever, with the exception of the eyes that I create because she uses felt, which is awesome. I'm not comfortable with felts. So I make a couple modifications just to get the look that I like on it, but obviously if you follow her pattern to the T, it will still look awesome. So I have my pattern here, and we're going to get started. I'm going to move to the next page. All right. The assembly page. All right, let me reorganize because I just moved everything around here. All right, so we've got front legs. I've got knots. Got the back legs. I've got my thighs. And that's what we're going to start with. We're going to start with one back foot and one thigh. My ears. I do just love the texture on the ears, personally. And the head. We'll put that one up there. All right, we are going to start here with our body. And then we are going to get one thigh and one little foot. Okay? So that's where we're going to start today. So if you haven't already, which is kind of hard to do on the thighs because they don't really close, go ahead and put some stuffing into your thigh. Probably won't need too terribly much, just enough to make it hold its shape, basically. Just a touch more. Woo! This is a lot more silky of filling than I typically have. So it just slipped right out of my hands there. All right. So there we go. They're stuffed. It's fallen out because there's so much in there, but that's okay because it's going to get put up against the thing. All right. So Evie's body. This is the front of her body, and this curved part, this is the back of her body. Okay. So your thigh, okay, where you did your decreases, is going to face the front. Okay, so you can see that this is the decrease part, how it comes down. Okay, so these are the decreases. So this is going to turn sideways. Those decreases are going to face the front. And it's going to attach right like that. So you can kind of see how much space is from the front to the back. Or front to the front, I guess, the front to the front, and then the back to the back part, just so you can see your proportions. Okay, so this is the straight on side view. The pictures show you that same view if you're looking at the pictures from the website. And basically you are just going to, I am going to lay mine flat. This is one thing I didn't do with Charmander, so he kind of wobbles because I didn't do it. But I'm sitting mine on the desk to make sure that it actually touches flat before I sew it on. Like I said, I did not do that with Charmander, so he's got a little bit of a weeble wobble. I lost my, there it is, my needle. Alright, so this, like I said, we're just going to sew this directly onto the side of the body. Make sure all your stuffing is stuffed up in there. So mine's wanting to fall out, and now I just lost my place. If you are a pinner, obviously feel free to use a pin here to make it not move. I personally am a hands-on kind of a person. I misjudged that. I saw the string from the body still hanging on the desk, and I thought I had a lot more space there. But anyway, I am more of a hands-on person. I like to hold it rather than pin it. But obviously, to each their own. If you are more comfortable with pinning, please feel free and do that. So we are just going to sew along each stitch around that thigh and into the closest body stitch. And as I always say, if you are a faster sewer than I am, because you probably are, feel free to, watch another video or something while I catch up to you. I mean, I probably won't take that long. Can't watch a full video, but at least I hope not. That'd be really bad. Go get a drink or something. Stretch your legs, stretch your arms. We all love stretching. Stretching is good, especially for your fingers when you're doing this kind of stuff. Also, if you go faster than I do, you might want to go ahead and continue on to the other side. You're going to do the exact same thing, just on the opposite side. Not too difficult, I hope y'all had a good weekend. Did anything fun? Go ahead and let me know. To know what y'all are up to. Anything fun and exciting, or even if it's not so fun or exciting. You read a good book or something? Saw a new movie? I keep seeing a lot of people that have gone out to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Mixed reviews on that one. We are big Marvel fans in my house, so we'll see it anyway, even if it's got bad reviews, because that's what we do. Alright, I'm about halfway through here, because I'm slow, and that's okay. I am a slow sewer, and a very particular one at that. So those two things together don't make for quick assembly, that's for sure. Which is also why I'm not going to do both. On screen, at least. Obviously, I will do both. Because that'd be a funny looking Eevee. I keep getting all of the stuffing stuck on my hook. My hook. I'm not using a hook. On my needle. It just isn't making me happy. Work around the stuffing. Thank you. I need to go buy more stuffing. This little bit that I have left in this baggie is all I got. So, not too happy with that, but it is what it is. Alright, I'm in my last few stitches here. If I can get it to cooperate with me. There we go. Looks like I got one or two left. Hopefully you're wrapping yours up, or you're already ahead. That's good too. I just saw that I skipped a couple, so I'm just going back through those right quick. I thought I got them, but I didn't. right. Perfect. At least perfect for me. Hopefully you'll feel happy with yours too. Now I am just going to thread mine through. And I'm going to take mine to a bottom seam so I can knot it off and it not be noticeable. Yeah, I know. I'm not very... I like my puns. What can I say? They might not be funny, but that's okay. I can live with it. As long as I make myself laugh. Alright, that is tied off. And then I'm going to send it through so I can cut it off. Whoop. And we're going to snip that out. And there we have a thigh master. All right, so now we're going to add our back foot to it. So I'm doing the whole right side of the body here. All right, so once again, if it is not already stuffed, go ahead and stuff your foot. It's a tiny little thing, so definitely shouldn't need that much. I might actually have enough to finish Evie off screen without having to go buy more. That would be awesome. All right, here we go. All right, so our foot. Woo! New page. New page. Okay, so once again, so you had some decreases. Trying to find mine. Did we? Hold on. It's been a while since I made the foot. It almost looks like it's round. I'm gonna go back and check it real quick. That's the front foot. Don't want the front foot. I want the back foot. Lots of pretty pictures. Head, body, front foot. I have somehow lost the page from my back foot, apparently. Not really quite sure how I did that. But nonetheless, I did. Alright, cool. I'm awesome like that. Just reorganize that. Alright, so with that, give me 1 second. We come to the internet. I don't have it printed anymore, or at least not where I can find it. Then I will go to directly to the source. Oh, look. I'll bet you this is it. I had one off to the side. I did! Look at that. Alright, I did have it, but I'm already here, so I'll just go ahead and look at it here, because then it's not all split up like it is there. Alright, Miss Evie. Let's see. I tail front foot. We did decrease, obviously. I mean, that's a given. Round 7 and 8. But nothing that would make it have a specific, too specific of a shape. Well, I guess it did. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 6 decreases and then 3 decreases in the next. So make sure I get the right side here. I don't know. I'm having a hard time seeing it, y'all. I hope you can see yours better. Mine wasn't very defined, but I think I got it there. You see the slight push out there? That's what we're looking for. Okay, now that we're back on track here. So the front of the foot is going to be where that slight push out there is. You can see that. It's a little hard to see on mine. Mine's not very defined. But basically, this is the back, because that's where we ended, and this is the front. So that's what we're going with. Okay, so this is the front of your foot. That is going to attach. So here's your guy. Okay. If this is the front, now the front, because I turned it. Okay. And where it's just going to flip sideways. It's going to attach directly to the front of that thigh. If you want your mine, I'm probably gonna put mine just ever so slightly further inset, just ever so slightly as compared to like there. Bring mine in just a touch, whichever you prefer. Visually, go for that. So that's what we're gonna do. So once again, I'm gonna lay it on my desk to make sure that it is where it's supposed to be. So that it's actually touching like it should. And I'm going to insert preferably not have it tangle up my yarn like I currently making it. All right. Can you get it there? I keep messing it up. That's my bad. What hole did I come out of? There it is. All right. And moving on. So once again, this is just going to sew all around those outside edges, those outside stitches, until you've hit them all and it's nicely secured to that thigh. And once you have finished the first side, go ahead and move on to the second side. Especially if you work faster than I do, because I am not doing the other side with y'all. Don't feel the need to waste your time watching me do it all over again, especially since I am not the quickest. And I'm going to move on to the front leg. Actually, I take that back. I think the head's going to come next. I'm going to sew on an ear and then attach its head. Almost through. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Alrighty. I'm in my final two here. Whee! Knotted up my yarn a little bit. Straighten that up. There we go. last one for Katie over here. All right, now I'm going to knot this off. Send that through once more. And cut off. Scissors. All right, Evie's got a completed, that is still stuck to me, back leg. Woohoo! Like I said, you'll do that to the same thing on this side. And then you'll have a sitting Evie. Woo. All right. Now, my instructions are a little cut off, so I'm just going to make sure. Yep. Okay, cool. All right, now for the head. If you are wanting to use a word that's not coming to my brain, a safety nose, that's what it's called. If you want to use a safety nose, you should be able to slip your finger in there to get it in there. Or you can embroider one if you prefer to do that. I am going to use my safety noses because I can, and they're fluffy. And I love it. And it saves me some time, to be honest. So I'm going to use... what size to use? That's the question. Is that too big? Or too small? Or is this too big? Oh no, I like that one. I'm going to use my bigger one. I have no idea what the sizes are on this, so I can't really give you whether it's like a 15 millimeter or 10 or what it is, because honestly I have no idea. But it's a bigger one. So that's what I'm going to use for mine. Nose placement is fairly easy, I feel. Put those away. Okay, so obviously you can tell where the front of the face is, and you're going to want to put the nose right in the center at the top of that bulge. So just push it in there so you can see. Go through the stitches. Just like that. Boop. Side view, profile, front, profile, front. And then just use that safety backer just to secure it. And I think I'm actually going to move that over one. Second guessing my placement, y'all, as it hops out of my fingers. It's like I want it to be like a centimeter different from where it is. We're gonna go for that. To be honest, my daughter won't know the difference. This is my crazy perfectionism coming in again. squeeze that on there, that backer. All right, and our nose will stay put. All right, there's our Evie nose, and it's fluffy. It makes me happy. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and sew our head to our body, and I'm thinking that I'm going to use, so I've got 2 strings to choose from. I'm just going to use whichever one's longest, because then I have plenty. So that's going to be my head one. So I am going to trim that guy down, and then I'm just going to tuck the excess into here, into the top of my body. All right. So yeah, just go ahead, pick, if you've got thread coming off, if you've got long tails on both of them, pick whichever one you want to use. The outcome's going to be the same. All right. And obviously, if you've got 2 legs, you can easily tell which is the front. But we're going to sew the head. If this is looking directly at you, pretend there's another leg over here. Obviously, we're going to sew it directly on top. Mine's a little crooked. There we go. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. I think my Charmander head was a little crooked last time, so I'm going to try and be a little better with Evie here. My thread was further in there than I thought it was. There it goes. Alright, now it's all out. Alright, let me line Evie's head up real quick. Again, now that all my yarn is out. Once again, if you use pins, pin away. I apparently prefer the struggle, so I don't. And then you're just going to sew all the way around, just like we did before. I chose mine with the longer one just so I had plenty of yarn to choose from. It's not to choose from, that's a silly way to say it, I guess. So that I had plenty of yarn to utilize. That's a better way. Much better. I hope you don't mind some quiet every now and then. I'm honestly not sure how streamers talk so much. I do try my best to keep some type of dialogue going, but then I think I'm just speaking gibberish. And you're going, please be quiet on the other side of the screen, especially when I don't have any chatters to give me specific things to chat about. Which obviously I would much prefer, but it doesn't always happen. And that's okay. This is where I would typically be listening to music if I were doing this solo. But since I can't seem to ace this whole royalty-free thing, I've just kind of given up. At least until the summer when I actually have time to get into it. Maybe make my own royalty-free playlist or something so that I know for certain that I'm not messing things up. But just as a quick search, clearly I was not doing a good job with that. Since my videos kept getting flagged for copyright, and nobody wants that. We are getting close, Evie, to you no longer being decapitated. I assume there to be a word that is like opposite of a lobotomy, where you set the head back on. And even though, yes, I know that sounds very morbid, I can almost guarantee it happened. Even just for funeral purposes. Reattach the head. Okay, that sounds so wrong. I don't know how I got there, but ooh. I will say I've been watching a show on Prime called Upload. Don't know what that is, which is not a very popular show, so it's okay. But basically the premise is all these rich people, when they die, they have their brain uploaded into the cloud. This is where technology gets scary, right? And they live a whole other life. That's their afterlife. So their consciousness and everything they remember and everything is uploaded into the cloud, and it's connected to a database that living humans are operating as their quote-unquote angels. But in order to do that, well, hey! Hi, y'all. Welcome. But anyway, so in order to get it uploaded into the cloud, they basically like laser off their head. And it's a very weird scene. Well, thanks for coming to see me. Sorry, this took me a second to read there. I've come to like raids. They're fun. My first raid, they taught me a lot about what raids were. So. Oh, that's a cute little emoji. Love that little heart crochet thing. And I love crochet too, so yay. So what is the stream that y'all came from, that you raided from? Is it another crochet one? Well, thanks. It is not mine. I do not take credit for it. I found it through the website that's up there on the picture. Her name is Ash, and she does a great job. They're very cute. I love them so much. So if you want to go check her out, you can get her pattern off of there. I am just doing the walkthrough of putting it together. We're at the end. Well, that's a fun, I'm going to call it a service. Fun little service that y'all do. Go around and just randomly drop in and say hi to people. And thanks for thinking my stream was interesting. Alright. Evie's head is almost fully attached here. Your head's not fully attached. You know, I feel the same way. Too much going on in this world for it to be. Alright. It's on! There it is. There's her head. Alright, I'm going to knot her off in the back here. And then we'll put in... Ooh, I went too fast. Put in an ear. We got an ear, an eye, a leg, and a tail. And then some fluff, and then we're done. Yeah, single crochet gets a little boring after a while. But on the plus side, when you're building stuff up like this, I've said this before, when you use your stitch markers, if you've just got round after round after round, you know, you can then watch a video or something because you're not having to count. What am I doing? Scissors, that's what I'm getting. You know, you can watch a video while you're doing it. So you can be entertained while still being productive. Alright, so there we go. A little wobbly in the neck there, but that's okay. She's going to get thrown around at my house by my daughter anyway. So it'll work. Alright, next up, ears. We're going to add an ear. Alright, so coming off the side, give you the profile view here. Okay, obviously you're going to want to go mostly to the middle of the head and then offset. So, you know, send them off to the side. Gotta lurk now. Okay, you do that. Okay, so from the front, obviously, that's what you're going to look like. And then you're going to want to do the other one as equally as possible coming off the other side. Okay? This one should sew up pretty quickly because there ain't much there to sew. I'm just going to do my initial feed. Oh yeah, I said I was sticking to the right side, so I'm going to make sure I stick to the right side. And since it's flat, I'm not necessarily going to go around, I'm just going to go through, because I think that makes the most sense. Just back and forth, back and forth. I love the lurking. You know, it's just nice to know someone's there. Just make sure that you put enough stitches in for that ear to be secure. Not gonna flop all over. Even though floppy ears are cute, on living animals, they're kind of annoying on stuffed ones. At least that's my opinion. You're welcome to have a different one. I won't be offended. All right. And obviously it will flop a little bit when you shake it, but you don't want it to be falling over when it's just sitting around. Okay, I'm just going to do a couple end securing ones here. I'm going to go up a row, the end of those. Just to pull that in a little bit. All right, we're going to knot this off next. That last securing stitch in, and then we're going to knot off. And move on to the front leg. We're approaching the hour mark. Slide that through just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere, and cut off. There we go, and Evie's got an ear. Like I said, you'll just do the exact same thing on the other side. She can hear at least a little bit now. Yay. All right, time for the front leg. Alright, so grab a front leg. They're both the same. It doesn't matter which. Apologize, I have some yarn in my mouth. Alright, so our front leg. Excuse me. Alright, so this one's going to be a little different because you need the other leg to finish it, and I'm not doing that, but I can give you the instructions, so it'll work fine. All right, so I'm once again placing it on the desk just to make sure that everything touches. All right, and by doing that, you'll basically line it up with where you need to sew it to. It should be just below the neck, unless you have looser stitches and you're up a little higher. That works too, but just so long as you're not right at the neck, there's at least 1 to 2 rounds between the top of the neck and the top of your leg. You'll be good. Okay, and then you're just gonna once again sew that to the body. I'm still working on my right side here. Wrapped it around the leg, the back leg. Should be a fairly straightforward stitch. Straight across there. All right. Now this one, this leg, that is. So this leg, I'm just going to go ahead and just sew this one and cut it off. For your second leg, once you finish sewing it on, you're going to sew a little bit over into a couple stitches into this one, into your first leg, just to pull them together. Okay. And because I am who I am, I want to well, thanks for joining. Even just for a little bit. I appreciate it. But I am going to send mine through the back of it just a little ways down, just to secure the leg from moving around a lot. You do not have to do this at all, but you can see how her leg kind of flops. And I'm just going to put a little teeny tiny stitch through the back side just to give it a little security on staying down. I don't really want it to be going all over the place. So I'm going to come all the way down here. Just give it that little bit of security. And then I'll come back up to tie it off. Now the good thing at the moment is that if you put knots anywhere around here to tie off your stuff, it'll be okay, because we're going to add that fluff to it all around her neck that you see in the photo there, and all of that will cover up any knots that might be seen. So just something to consider as you're doing your final placements. Typically you can't see your knots, but if you happen to and you're concerned about it, just know it will be covered up. Alright, so that leg is in. It's knotted off, and I'm doing my final send through of the tail before I cut it off, if I can get through the stuffing. Okay. Cut that off. There's our Evie so far. Her right side is done. We're going to add an eyeball. I showed you how to make these eyes in the last stream. If you didn't catch that, you can find it on my YouTube channel, because obviously it is off of Twitch now at this point. It's really simple, but if you want to check that out, my YouTube channel, same handle, KT Plays 2022, and you'll find how to make these eyes if you don't like the felt, like I do. Okay, so I'm going to just find the placement that I like on here for the eye, obviously. I'm going to grab my other one just to get a feel for it here. Hers are angled a little bit. Alright, so this is about where I'm going to put mine. Let's see there. I like mine to be all yarn, which is precisely why I made my own eyes. It's just this personal preference of mine. Obviously, do yours the way you prefer. Stay. There we go. Now we're in. Get my eye back back into position, and then you're just going to sew that right onto the head as well. It would help if I went through the correct stitch, though. There we go. It's like somewhere in the middle of it. Alright, after I put this eye on, all that's left is adding the tail, and then we will finish up with the fluff, and we will have finished our Eevee, y'all. If you are wanting to join me for making Pikachu, that's next on the list. Once again, coming from One Up Crochet, it's just going to be a walkthrough through Ash's pattern that she created, not me. Don't take credit for it at all. You can grab the pattern off of the same exact sites, oneupcrochet.com. And at the end of this, I will go through what you'll need for it in total. But obviously, to start, we'll just need yellow. Because he's a yellow guy, and all of his body parts could take up some yellow. I would advise a bright yellow, bright and sunshiny like Pikachu himself or herself. I honestly don't know what Pikachu's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be a boy. Not really sure. If you know definitively what Pikachu is, please feel free to share that information. I'm sure my son would probably know. But I can almost guarantee that I won't remember to ask him come the time I get home. I am just working around her eye here. So I had mentioned before that I wanted to follow Pikachu up with a Mew, just because it's so dang cute. But I'm really contemplating that one because I am making these for my 3 children. So they're each going to get one. Charmander, Eevee, and Pikachu, because those are their favorite characters. At least of ones that I could make. My daughter has a really kind of obscure one that I can't find a pattern for. That's technically her favorite. But you know, she likes to be difficult like that. But my thought is that if I make that Mew, I don't know what to do with it because I can't really give it to one of my kids because then they're going to fight about the fact that one of them got 2 stuffed animals. So, I don't know. If y'all want to do the Mew, just let me know. Leave a comment. If you want to see the Mew done. Otherwise, I might move on to something else at that point. We shall see. Maybe we'll get into a baby clothes series or something. I've got a lot of baby clothes patterns that are kind of Disney themed, or Disney inspired, I guess, that I would still like to try and make that I haven't done yet. Or I've got little dolls that I could do as well. So if you're willing, let me know what you're interested in. I'd rather make something you want to see, of course, than something you don't want to see. All right. Eye is on, and we are signing off here. Not of the stream, sorry. We're not quite done with the stream. Signing off with her eye there. Excuse me. I'm still fighting the end of this cold that I caught over the weekend. All right, so there we go. Right-sided Eevee. Now we're going to give Eevee a full-sided tail. And then some fluff. I'm going to show you how to do the fluff. And then we are going to wrap this stream up. The only downside, I will say, the downside, at least for me, to printing off the stuff is that it cuts off at a weird spot. So sometimes not everything is there. Like, for instance, the tail assembly. Just want to make sure I'm sewing it, correctly. Ooh. But yeah, so those pictures are missing. So, all right. This is why I keep it on backup on my computer. All right, so now for the tail, which will go pretty quick. So that extra little, we did like this extra little nub kind of a thing there. That's going to go on the underside. Okay, so it's going to attach to the bottom, the boat. Okay, so it's going to be on the underside. So where you want that part to attach to. Okay, once again, I want to make sure it's kind of sitting, touching the desk. I always do this. I get it all lined up before I even have my yarn on the needle. All right, now let's line it up. Thread it through once just to get it started. Line up the tail with the center. It'd be helpful to look at it from the back. Okay. I've got where I want it. And off we go. This should work up quickly for you because, like I said, there are not very many stitches to go around. And once again, I've tied mine in a knot, so bear with me for a second. I'm really good at that. I think I just made it worse. What have I done? Hold on. I like double knotted it because I am spectacular that way. Pull that out that way. Pull that out this way. And we are no longer knotted. Yay. Okay, you lay Eevee down here. I can't really see her. There we go. Don't mind my funny faces. I make them. That's what I do. If you can see them. You can make fun of me. It's okay. I can take it. I know what happens. My funny face is not the making fun of me part. Although I know that happens too. across at the bottom. Oh. I might have made her a little lopsided on the tail, but that's okay. Again, my daughter won't mind. I will. I like everything to be perfect, so I will mind it, but she won't. But I'm also not willing to undo it right now because I'm on here with y'all. If I were by myself, probably would. But I can learn to live. Not gonna kill me. It is, after all, just a toy. Not nuclear launch codes or anything. So I feel like it's all gonna be okay. Alright, we almost have a tail for Miss Evie completed. A few more. If you are done and waiting for me, I should go ahead and cut some cream colored yarn. I'm just going to do a handful with you, but in total, you're going to need a lot. I don't have an exact number for you, but you're going to need a lot. They need to be about 6 inches long, just a whole bunch of strings for us to work the fluff onto Evie's neck. So go ahead and get those cutting. If you're ahead, if you're behind, that's okay. It's not going to take a lot to catch up, I promise. A very, very bulbous tail. And I'm going to do, once again, one of those securing stitches to the very top of this, because I don't want the tail flopping around a lot like that. I'd like it to stay up a little more like this. So right here, see that? So like right here, I'm going to put just a little securing stitch to get that to stay up. Again, not necessary. It's just a personal preference. Put that out there. If you don't want to do that, obviously don't do that. But I do. Okay. Now just send that through the bottom for finishing off. I'm going to make sure that's nice and tight for the knot, just so that stays upright. The tail, that is. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Alright, and a final send through. And we cut it off. And then obviously all of these things, if you haven't done it already, you will need to do a second time to do all the other sides. Okay, so you need that other other thigh and the other back leg and the other front leg and the other eye and the other ear. You're going to secure all those on and you're going to have your Eevee. Isn't she cute? Let me put her over on this side. She looks every time I look at her, she looks lopsided. Her tail is definitely off, but that's okay. Again, my daughter won't mind. But that's her. So last but certainly not least, like I said, I'm just going to do a few of these with you because it's very repetitive and just kind of takes some time. Move this back up. There we go. All right. So if you've watched any of my other streams, you already know that I'm bad with measurements. So I'm going to pull out my handy dandy ruler to get my 6 inches. I'm just going to cut a few of these. How long did I pull that? Don't want to pull it taut. So we're about there. All right. Like I said, you're going to need several of these. You should grow the whole length of the neck, so I would recommend making at least that many, if not a few more, just to add the fluff. I'm just going to do about 5 with you right now. You've probably done this before. If you made Charmander with us, you've definitely done it before. But yeah, so we're just gonna put the fluff on. So we're gonna cut that off. Snip, snip. Obviously I don't have enough, but I will later. All right, so all of these little strips, I'm gonna go one at a time, and we are going to take one moment. Because I thought, where did I put my backpack? There it is. I thought that I was done using a hook. I did not bring my appropriate hook with me. That's okay because I have my backup. Is it weird that I take a hook everywhere with me? Alright, so what you're going to do with all of these, okay? So just below the neck, so you're going to be like 1, maybe 2 below. You want to be at least 1 above the legs. So depending on where yours fell when you attached yours, you're going to be at least 1 below the neck and at least 1 above the leg. Okay. So all you're going to do is you're going to insert. So I'm going to be right in the middle, basically. So that's all I got. Okay. So you're going to insert your hook into one of those spaces. You are going to loop and pull one of those strands through that. Okay. And then you are going to put your fingers through there, pull those through, pull the 2 tails through the loop that you made. And then pull tight. There you go. That's all you're going to do. You're going to do that all the way around the neck. So like I said, I will do a few more just to show you. So you're going to go directly into the very next one that's connected to it. Push through. Loop. Pull the loop through. Loop through. Okay. Then pull those legs through the loop and pull tight. All right, I'm just going to add a few more to mine. But like I said, you're going to work the whole way around the neck through that line. whichever line you're working on. I'm going to put 5 in here. And then show you the final effect of our Eevee. Then hopefully, when I come back to you on Friday, I will be able to show you a finished Eevee. Technically, I still have to finish Charmander. He's still missing his toenails. But that's okay. I have until I am done with Pikachu to get those toenails on. I think I did put one on. I think. I'd have to check. Alright, so there you go. So you're seeing how that's going on there. Okay? So like I said, all of that is going to go all the way around. Once you have finished doing that, I'm going to do mine early, but it's a lot harder if you do it as you go. Excuse me. Once you finish putting all of those little strands on, you're going to get your slinger brush out, and you are going to essentially groom her. But you're just going to brush all of that out. Let's see if I can lay her down for this little section here. If you have something that you can put underneath, I think if I have something that I can put underneath her, something that's a little substantial, I guess, would be better. So I've got a chocolate bar in front of me. Friend brought it from Iceland for me. So kind of her. Giving some nice stability there. If you can put something under the neck, that would be helpful too. But essentially, you're just going to brush all of that out. And be careful not to catch your actual doll. Don't catch the face or anything, so be careful of what you're doing. But you're going to brush all of that out as close as you can get. And that's going to, as you can see, it's starting. It's going to get you that fluff all around. And then after that, you'll just want to shape it, trim it as needed to get those kind of triangular things that are coming off of her for design. But that's it. That covers our Eevee. Like I said, I hope to have her all finished and ready to show you on Friday. So yeah, I hope you got to make one and that you enjoyed making them. Like I said, I love making amigurumi. I just think they're so much fun. So with that, I'm going to just pull all of this little fuzz out so I can put this brush away. And I'm going to tell you what you need for Pikachu real quick before I tag out for today. So back, pull it up here. Nope, not Raichu. We want Pikachu. Alright, so materials that you're going to need ultimately for Pikachu is make the ad go away. There we go. Alright, so you are going to need yarn colors in yellow, brown, red, black, and white. Okay? If you're wanting to make the Pokeball, you're going to need the white. If you are wanting to make yarn eyes with me at the end, you're also going to need the white. Okay, if you're not wanting to do any of that, you really don't need white. Alright, so those are the yarn colors. If you are going to be using felt, you need black and white for the eyes and the little spot on the Pokeball. Okay? And if you don't already know this, you're going to need a hook. I use my 3.5mm hook basically for everything. Works out to about this size for all the dolls. Use the hook of your size that you prefer, obviously. You'll need scissors, a yarn needle, fiber fill, And if you're doing the felt stuff, either hot glue or a felting needle. Obviously, I'm not felting. I'm making mine out of yarn. So you won't see me doing that part, but if that's what you're wanting to do, have at it. So, like I said, although obviously to start with, we're just going to be needing yellow, lots and lots of yellow, to make all of his body. So yeah, so his body and his tail and his appendages and his head are all going to be completely yellow, and then you'll need black to do the ears. Yellow and black once we get to the ears, and then we'll add all the other stuff to it. So, all right. If you've got any questions, comments, concerns, obviously please leave me a message, leave me a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe. Love for you to follow along and let me know what you'd like to see in the future. So that's it. This is a longer video than usual. Tried to keep it about an hour. I almost forgot this. Details. I'm not going to do it with you because it's very simple and straightforward. But if you're wanting to put those details onto the feet, obviously just take your black yarn, just embroider a couple stripes down to get those little toe definitions. If you're wanting to do that. Almost forgot about that. But aside from that, Evie is done for. I'll hopefully have her to show you on Friday once we start our Pikachu. So get that yellow yarn, get your hook, and I will see you on Friday. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.